Well, my next guest could have one of the toughest jobs in the country. He's Jim Gillespie. He's president and CEO of Coldwell Banker, part of NRT, which is the largest real estate broker in the United States. And if you've ever bought a house in the U.S., you probably are familiar with the name of Coldwell Banker. Jim, good to see you, and really appreciate your time here, because a lot of people are wondering what is going on with the housing market. First off, I want to talk about the company itself, and what it is doing. I know that Coldwell itself has put in place this its own sort of home buyer's tax credit, right?
Yes.
You've given them sort of this bonus payment, homeowners bonus payment, about 3% of the value of the homes, up to $8,000 if they sign a contract before July 31st. So it's been passed already. This is a past event. How has that gone? Did you actually see new buyers come in from that?
Well, we did. We saw an awful lot of activity. We had almost 30,000 listings that participated in this program that ended the end of September. We had a lot of activity. I think that it generated some sales. We have some tremendous success stories from
But were they new, Jim? Were they people that would have bought homes? Were they people that wouldn't have bought homes that did buy homes because of this?
Well, again, it's all anecdotal, Betty. I don't have any, firm numbers on it. All I know is that from talking to the grassroots, from talking to people on in the field, that it did generate a lot of activity. And of course, it was a private sector solution as opposed to a government solution. So there was no no limits on income like the federal tax program. So it generated a lot of activity, and we were showing our sellers that we were trying to do something, trying to think outside of the box to get things moving.
Right, but modeled, though, as you say, on this government program, though, the critics have come out and said, though, that any type of tax credit, all it does is it brings demand up, but it doesn't create new demand. Why are you still lobbying for yet another tax credit?
Oh, no, we're not lobbying for another tax credit at all, Betty. No.
I thought you were lobbying for a $15,000 tax credit.
No, we did before, back last fall, but when it was extended from November 30th, we said, hey, that's it. It was extended from November 30th to April 30th, so now we're letting the market take care of itself. So no, there's no more lobbying for that, Betty.
Okay, all right, then that's my mistake. Then moving on from that, then, I mean, the critics were still out there about that tax credit and saying that all it did was bring demand up. Are you seeing any more demand because of that, though?
Well, I would argue that the tax credit worked in the fact that we've got stable prices, and we have 11 million homeowners right now underwater, and I think without that tax credit, prices would not have stabilized like they have the last year, and there would have been a lot more foreclosures in this country and a lot more underwater mortgages in this country. The nice thing about the tax credit, and it's over, and we're not lobbying for it anymore, but there were returns. Unlike some of the federal spending, there are returns. Every time a home is sold in this country, $60,000 goes into the local economy. That's not only a National Association of Realtors statistic, but Mark Zandi from Moody's Economy.com, his number was $56,000.
Okay.
Every time a home is sold in this country, one job is created. So I would argue that the tax credit did good, but now let's let the free market take over.
Right, and we're seeing the free market take over. We saw yesterday, Jim, in these housing starts numbers, that you're seeing more movement in multifamily, but not as much in single homes. And for some who are betting on a housing recovery, that's kind of disturbing.
Well, but it still was positive, Betty. What we need to do is we need to take this 1 month at a time. Everybody's like, wanting to throw the curtain down on real estate because of maybe one bad month's report, which was last month's report.
Right.
But NAR is coming out with numbers tomorrow, and your great organization, Bloomberg, this week surveyed a bunch of economists, and the average of the economists said that the number of unit sales would increase by 7% this month. So again, what we're looking for is some positive signs month over month.
Okay. All right, Jim, we will leave it there. And great to have you with us to shed some more light on the housing market. Jim Gillespie, the CEO of Coldwell Banker.